What's happening, guys? Aruj again, and today we're talking about anaerobic respiration. And this is making energy, making ATP, when oxygen is not available. So let's go and take a look at this. If we take a look at these two people, this gentleman right here, walking on the left-hand side, this guy can go on forever walking at that pace. He's using enough energy, or he's not using a lot of energy. He's taking in a lot of oxygen, and his cells can make a good amount of energy, okay? If we look at the guy on the right, this gentleman cannot keep up that pace over time. And I want you to think, if you were in his position, how would your muscles start to feel? Well, over time, if you were to keep running at this explosive pace, your muscles would start to feel heavy. You would start to feel that burning sensation in your muscles, and eventually you would have to stop, okay? So what's causing that burning sensation? Okay, what's causing your muscles to feel that way to where you eventually have to stop? Well, when there's enough oxygen that's present, we go through the normal process. We go glycolysis, we go through the Krebs cycle, and then we go to the electron transport chain, and we get our large amount of ATP. But keep in mind, the Krebs cycle, that's dependent on oxygen. The electron transport chain, that's dependent on oxygen. So if we don't have enough, we go through another process called anaerobic respiration, okay? We still go through glycolysis. That is still the same because this process does not depend on oxygen. Now, after glycolysis, everything that was made goes to the next process called fermentation. And fermentation is the last process in anaerobic respiration, okay? So just remember, when there's not a lot of oxygen present, your muscles, they're going to get sore, they're going to start to burn, and eventually you're going to have to stop going at that rate that you've been going at, okay? Just like Rocky right here, doing his little one-handed push-ups. The guy's in pain. He's making, funny faces while he's doing his push-ups, and eventually he's going to have to stop because the pain is too much, okay? So here's what happens in anaerobic respiration. Number one, it allows your cells to make ATP when oxygen is not present, okay? There's two steps to it. Glycolysis, which is exactly the same as the glycolysis we saw before, and the second step is fermentation. For us, the type of fermentation that we go through is called lactic acid fermentation. So during fermentation for us, we make lactic acid, and that's what causes that burning sensation in your muscles. And then eventually you have to stop because it becomes too much. Another example of lactic acid fermentation is some bacteria can ferment milk to make yogurt. So that's actually a good thing for us because now we get a nutritious food that we could have, which is yogurt. Another type of fermentation is called alcohol fermentation, and this is exactly how alcohol is made. What they do is they take sugar, they limit the oxygen, they cap it, and then bacteria will ferment those sugars to make alcohol. Okay. And of course, go ahead and take note on everything in this page. So to give you guys a little visual, glycolysis, it's exactly the same. We have our glucose. That bad boy gets split into our 2 molecules of pyruvate. And then we go to fermentation, and that pyruvate is converted into lactic acid, okay? And we still make 4 ATP. We don't get any ATP from fermentation. We still get 4 ATP. But it costs 2 to start, so we only net 2 ATP, okay? And do me a huge favor. Actually, go ahead and take note of this slide. Take note of this slide too. So pretend that there is a little pencil in that corner, okay? And that's it for today, folks, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.